All right. I forgot to click the intro button. So now we are live. There's usually like a 60-second countdown thing. I forgot to do that. That's what happens when I host. And Steven and Tyler are gone. So welcome into the Guilty as Charged podcast draft live stream. Oh, there is Gavino.
Yo.
Let me add him in right now. Hello, Gavino.
What's up, guys?
What is up, indeed?
Nice to meet you, Maddie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Also,
meet you.
Gavino,
Meet you.
Gavino, you were a little late, so we are live now. Just to let you know. But welcome one and all to the Guilty as Charged podcast live stream. I'm your host for the evening, Alex Insdorf, and Steven and Tyler are at the draft, so they let me play in this little sandbox, and I brought three of my friends with me. First, you know her from the channel, Maddie.
Hey everyone, happy to be here. Happy draft night.
Yep. We have Jason Reed from Bolt Beat. How you doing, Jason?
Doing good. I told you before we went live, I brought out the pink shirt because I know it's, good luck for you.
Yeah.
I was a little upset you weren't wearing it too, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I had to wear 17 for 17, but here we go. And we also got Gavino. Gavino, how are you doing tonight?
Good. I didn't consider this a lucky shirt, but I mean, I just have to throw this on.
There's some pink floral energy.
Yeah.
It might be a lucky shirt after tonight.
Again, Tom
Maybe?
Telesco surfboard, Hawaiian shirt. I don't know.
Yeah, might
Maybe.
become a tradition. Might become a tradition. Okay, so we just got done with the Falcons pick. They took Drake London. Any thoughts on how the draft has gone to this point, Gavino?
Well, I think we thought we were going to see a little slide with the tackles, but unfortunately that was short-lived with the Panthers and the Giants taking Ike Ekwonu and Giants taking Evan Neal. So that just leaves Charles Cross because I don't include Trevor Penning in that tier of the top tackles. So we saw Drake London go to the Falcons as well. So we kind of have Jameson Williams and Chris Olave still on the board, Garrett Wilson. So three of the receivers are still there. And we're at pick 9 right now. So,
yeah. So any surprise about the Falcons going Drake London, or did you kind of have him with Garrett Wilson equally, or?
Little. I wouldn't say I was surprised, but I like the fit for the Falcons more so.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that Drake London would be a good fit, just given the big body type receiver. I think he fits well with, Mariota at this point. I don't know if they're going to do anything else with the quarterback situation, but at the same time, some might be surprised to see that London was the first receiver taken. I'm sure if you're betting with the draft, then that was something that was thrown out there early on. You might want to take that. So, yeah, a lot of people thought that Williams would be the first receiver taken, but again, I like the fit for the Falcons nonetheless.
Any thoughts on what the Seahawks could be doing here at 9, Jason?
So the Draft Network actually just tweeted out that they're taking Charles Cross with the 9th overall pick.
Oh, okay.
No surprise there. I don't think they were
Right.
going QB, and they needed a tackle. So I guess we were maybe hoping they'd be silly and draft Penning over Cross. I know there was some talk about that by some mock drafts by people, but I don't think a surprise there. So there goes the elite, group of tackles.
Yeah, this kind of creates an interesting environment because now that Charles Cross is off the board, still a while before the Chargers pick. I think this could create a Penning before 17 situation. Wouldn't be surprised if the Saints or a team like that kind of jumps on that opportunity. Maddie, any thoughts on how the draft has played out so far?
Biggest surprise for me is Stingley going so early.
Yeah.
I think that it's looking more likely for Penning for us, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we go wide receiver here, especially if Williams is still available. But I don't know. It's been pretty interesting with all the defensive players taken so early.
Yeah, no, Jason over here had a Jarek Stingley over 9.5 prop bet.
You have to tell the people
so
about that?
safe to say. Yeah, I had to tell the people that you lost money. Yes.
Oh no.
Whatever.
But you might gain some from the other
What
prop bets
happens?
you have tonight.
That was my only one. I'm just glad it lost with the 3rd pick, not because this was the range I expected him to go, and It's just
Right.
not third. So it is what it is.
Okay. Any thoughts on the Charles Cross to Seattle selection here?
Little surprised. I really thought they were going to go quarterback here. Some might think that's a little rich, but again, I know that pass rusher would have been in play, or simply the Seahawks would have just screwed it up in general, like they always do. So, with this selection, they're not screwing up, and they're getting a really good player, the number 4 player on my board. So again, I like this selection when Roger Goodell officially makes it official here. So going into the 10th selection, this is where it's going to start to get interesting. I mean, you still have players like Kyle Hamilton available. You're looking at that Jameson Williams. So this is where it's really going to get interesting. Jordan Davis as well. So I think this is really where the draft starts for the Chargers, nonetheless, especially teams that have similar needs like the Saints. It'll be interesting to see what the Ravens do. I know Jordan Davis has been pegged to them quite a bit, and especially having the Texans having their second pick as well, and then the Vikings needing some cornerbacks too. So yeah, I think nonetheless with this Seahawks pick, they did a good job on it. So they didn't screw it up like other years.
Yeah. It would only be better if they had Russell Wilson behind a Charles Cross as opposed to Drew Lock. But yeah, that's the situation they find themselves in. All right.
I don't know if it's Drew Lock. I still feel like it's Baker Mayfield, but I might be naive in saying that.
I mean, it might kind of be the same thing at this point.
It is, but do you think Pete Carroll is really? He's old, man. He's like 83. He doesn't want to rebuild. He's going to convince himself Baker. He's going to get fired up. Baker loves handing the ball off to people. He's good at it. So I think it's a perfect fit. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm honestly surprised Pete Carroll's still there, like post Russ. I'm curious to see what this year is for him. I thought maybe he would go to another opportunity or a team, or just retire flat out in general. But yeah, that Seahawks environment is going to be interesting to see what he does there. Who's up at 10 again? Real quick.
Jets.
Jets are up. Yep.
As of now, do we know if they're selecting here, or if Deebo Samuels is being traded here, or?
I don't think Deebo's getting traded here. But never know. What were we gonna say, Maddie?
I was going to say, if Pete Carroll doesn't have a good year this year, or we don't see improvement, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a change in the next year or so.
Yeah. I think he's probably just holding over the transition at this point, and then, maybe resigns or signs some kind of like one-day contract to retire a Seahawk or whatever. But I don't think he's there for the long term.
Do we think that the Jets could go wide receiver here?
That's what I'm thinking.
I do,
Wide receiver here.
Garrett Wilson.
This sounds like a Garrett Wilson spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they don't go wide receiver, I'm thinking corner, but I have a feeling it's going to be wide receiver.
The Chargers pick is going to be interesting because, we're really going to say who has a lot of say in this draft. I think wide receiver, and I pegged Chris Olave, assuming that he's there, and I just can't get the whole, like, really maximizing Justin Herbert on his rookie contract. Yes, I know that they need help on the right side of the line, right guard, right tackle. There's some holes there, but that just seems like such a Telesco-type pick, to really go all in for Herbert and kind of just – being okay with this offensive line. Like, I know fans don't want to hear it, but how do they really feel about Trey Pipkins? With that small sample size, he didn't do too bad. And, I think we're looking at just strictly Storm Norton, or if they see one of these round 3, round 4 tackles or guards that they really like. Steven said that they like Cole Strange. I really would like that at round 3, assuming he's there. But I really it's going to be interesting to see what they do here and who they value, because I know a lot of fans don't want Penning, but it's going to be intriguing to see if that protection sits atop over like another weapon for Justin Herbert. But again, I still think they go offense here. I know that they need to really solidify the secondary. They could really use a corner like McDuffie or Elam at 17. But again, I still think nonetheless it's going to be on the offensive side of the ball, whether it's an offensive lineman or receiver. And I think they go heavy on defense with their day 3 picks, just given Staley's proven track record of developing defensive players then and making them into quality players.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see if like McDuffie is still left on the board for them by the time they are up to select, because I think that's like the most likely defensive player at this point. Otherwise, I do kind of agree that it'd be offense.
I think it was Telesco at the Combine. Was he the one that really said they want to add players to put around Justin Herbert to succeed? Was it Telesco or was it Staley that said that? It was one of those. Oh, the Jets are picking.
I think it was Telesco. Because that was the same press conference where he had the whole the rookie contract window thing that became a controversy.
Right.
I remember that one, but yeah, no, I think that was the same press conference.
Okay,
Jets got Wilson.
Yep.
Wilson.
Okay. No,
Not surprising.
Jets have my favorite draft so far with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Those are both my wide receiver 1 and CB1 right there. That's good.
Yep.
What are our thoughts? Because again, there's gonna be a lot of happy fans if Chargers go receiver, but there's gonna be a lot of mixed fans because they're gonna say, like, given the wide receiver room and all that. What are our thoughts on Keenan Allen, like now and then in the future? Like, because I think Keenan has, if I'm not mistaken, 3-4 years left on his contract and all that, but he's got a heavy cap hit. I'm pretty sure it's $21 million this year, and it's gonna start.
Yeah. They start to go a little bit higher too. I think there's a chance they probably restructure that. Maybe
that's what I'm thinking, that they would restructure it.
Maybe in probably after this year or maybe the year after. I think they probably restructured and lessen the cap hit a little bit. They sort of restructured. They restructured Mac this offseason already, so they probably would wait to do that with Keenan. But yeah, that's kind of what it seems like in terms of like. Yeah, I think he still has probably like 2 years of like peak play left, and then but his game is also one that I don't think will age like poorly. So I don't think you need to take a wide receiver, but at the same time, like if a Jameson Williams is there, if a Chris Olave is there in theory, I don't think a Keenan like dissuades you per se just from taking one if you are purely going like BPA.
I would be surprised if Williams is still there, but if he is, I don't see the Chargers passing on him. Like, I don't know how you can pass on Jameson Williams at 17.
You can't. To have that type of talent, it doesn't matter if he's going to be available day one or what are they saying? Like, I know he's ahead of his recovery, but realistically speaking, what are we thinking? November? He's going to be like game ready and all that. Like, still, nonetheless,
I think he'll honestly be ready by like September. I mean, because he tore his ACL, but
we got a trade here. The Saints are moving up. Just traded.
Oh, here we go.
Is this for a quarterback?
Who are they competing with?
Is this for
Houston, maybe, but unless there's other teams trying to trade up, of course.
They're trading up for Trevor Penning.
Oh, geez, what are the Saints doing?
Alex, you were all over this. When the Saints trade happened, you said
they're going to jump up again, didn't you?
Yeah, Alex was all over.
Yeah, well, I was like, I said that they were going to trade up for quarterback. I thought it would be like before draft day. I guess it wouldn't shock me if it was like Malik Willis. That wouldn't surprise me. Really, any quarterback wouldn't surprise me, but I guess this is a weird spot to trade up in because there's no one that they're really like competing against at this spot because everyone has a quarterback. Unless like they weirdly think like the Steelers would trade up or something, or they think there's like an outside chance the Eagles would take a quarterback. Other than that, I can't really.
Or would
Yeah,
they go
the Texans.
with one of the receivers here, or do you think they're going to go quarterback?
This could be a Jameson. This could be a Jameson trade up too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised about that because I know there was a lot of smoke about the Eagles potentially doing that. So yeah.
And then if Williams is gone, then what are we thinking? Who do we think the Eagles want? Do you think they really want a wide receiver? Alex, I'm specifically asking
Yeah.
you. So if Olave,
I think they want
you think they take Olave? Let's say if they take Williams here, or you think they're going to pass on a guy like Olave?
I think they would take wide receiver, and then their second pick is going to be best defensive player. Whether that's some kind of edge, could be like a Jermaine Johnson type in theory, or like a Kyle Hamilton if he's still on the board. Maybe best quarterback available. Trey McDuffie's there still. I know there was a report that they like Andrew Booth quite a bit actually, but
yeah, because now I'm just staring at that Eagles pick right there because that's the team that if Williams goes here, that Olave to Eagles would be. I'm sorry, yeah, if Williams goes to the Saints, then Olave to the Eagles, then Chargers aren't going to be taking receiver. Then that kind of really leaves the nightmare scenario for most fans of Penning or stuck with, or I mean Zion Johnson. Yeah, Zion Johnson. He's probably at top of my priority list for the Chargers, but how much they value him, I don't know. He could be their top interior offensive lineman on their board, for all that we know. So, because I think Johnson would be it wouldn't be a sexy pick, but I think it would probably be the most safe pick in my opinion for the Chargers.
Do we have a compensation update on the Saints trade?
Haven't seen anything yet. I've been looking, refreshing.
Because they had to trade up. They had to trade up what, 5 spots? No, 6 spots because they're after the Eagles. So I would imagine that's like
5
maybe
spots.
They gave up their 5 spots. So they would give up their second, right?
Okay,
something like that.
So here's what's going on. The Commanders are getting picks 1698, 120 for trading back to New Orleans.
Oh. So they're giving up a second and a third?
And a fourth.
Oh, second and a fourth. Okay.
So it's like 16, 98, and 120.
Well, 98's not a second. That's a
third. That's what I was saying. No,
third,
third
and fourth. Third and fourth.
Yeah, third and fourth.
That's not that bad.
That's not bad. I thought they would definitely have to give up their second.
This will be interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it was anyone but Jameson Williams. I really would.
In order to trade up that much, I kind of feel the same way.
What if they surprise and they go Olave here? Would we be surprised or no?
I would.
You would?
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Olave went before Williams. Although both are extremely talented.
Alex Milkuiper just tweeted the Jets ended up with my top cornerback and top receiver and didn't have to trade up. Nice night. So you and Milkuiper, same person.
No, that's a great trade. That's a great trade. Great draft night for them. I don't think there's going to be anyone who could possibly have a better draft night than Sauce and Garrelson. Like that. That's kind of the dream.
Just like Milkuiper, you're at home while you're co-hosts are at the draft, so more similarities.
Not for the same, to clarify, not for the same reasons as Mel Kiper. But yeah.
Okay. Call your shot right now. Who are the Saints taking right here?
I just saw a tweet. Albert Breer said Chris Olave.
Oh man!
Wow.
Why?
I'm shocked. Like I said, I'd be shocked.
That's you got to go Jameson there, that's a lot to give up just to go get.
What's Austin Eckler doing up there? Are you guys watching the NFL Network stream?
I am watching the Network stream.
I don't know what I'm on. I think I'm on ESPN. I don't know.
I wonder who was the competition to get Olave though. Like
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, who's at 12?
Minnesota. They're not
It's
taking a
Vikings.
receiver.
Right.
That seems like a Trent McDuffie spot for
Houston, I could see taking a
Yeah.
receiver.
Houston would be the one because they took Stingley, so that I think they probably were trying to beat Houston to the punch. That's kind of what it sounds like.
I don't think any of the receivers are going to be available for the Chargers at this point. That was it right there.
I don't think so.
Williams is
Oh
going to
my
go.
God, who's the dude in the yellow Chargers jersey?
I've seen him. I think his first name is James something. He's actually pretty active on.
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
I think he works for the Eagles. Like he actually does stuff. For the Eagles.
Yeah. He's a fan of the show. I've talked with him on Twitter before. I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
So,
James Ebo.
The Lions traded up.
Yep.
What?
Oh
Beat me
wow,
to the punch.
the Lions just jumped up to with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. From 32.
So they probably traded 32 and 34 for that pick, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, that's a big jump. So are the Lions
taking Jameson?
No, I think they're going to get their quarter because we had
Quarterback.
said Malik Willis would make sense.
That sounds quarterback. Yeah.
So I know people have been talking. Yeah, I mean that Malik Willis possibly to 2, like that had been kind of the thing. But I think they're obviously being aggressive to get their guy right here. So 32, 34, and a lot more. That's for sure. That's a big jump. That's Kansas City Chiefs type trade right there, moving all the way up from 32 all the way to 12.
Yeah.
Not draft related. Andrew Siciliano tweeted Week 2 Thursday Night Football, Chargers at Chiefs. So there's a piece of the schedule.
Week 2.
Oh, it's on the screen now on the ESPN stream.
Oh, okay, cool. That's gonna be fun.
September 15th.
Honestly, you can just schedule Mahomes Herbert Thursday Night Football for the rest of time, and I would I would watch it.
Yeah.
Week 2 Chargers versus Chiefs.
Tony Gonzalez is going for a long time.
He's rambling.
But it's confirmed to be Olave at this point.
Yep. Just confirmed.
Okay.
Okay. More stuff. This isn't confirmed, but Benjamin Solak, I think the Ringer, says per source the Lions have traded up to 12 for Jameson Williams.
Oh wow, man.
Wow. Okay.
Obviously, I mean,
okay.
If he's tweeting it with a source, I think he feels pretty good about it.
In pain. I was hoping for Jameson to fall to the Eagles, but
so the top receivers went within the first 12 selections.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
So we have Wilson, Olave, Jameson off the board. And who am I forgetting? Oh, London also. So that's all 4 of them gone.
So we can kind of say no bye to the thought of Chargers taking a wide receiver in the first round.
Probably. Yeah. I think that is off the board.
Detroit sent 32, 34, and 66 to the Vikings for 12 and 46.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's actually pretty good value for Detroit.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I thought it would take more to trade up.
Especially getting that pick back, that second rounder.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought it would. I mean, Tyler's always the one who consults the trade machine, but I thought it would take more to trade up 20 spots.
So regarding the Chargers, we're looking at Jordan Davis, McDuffie.
Oh, that's Jordan Davis is still here. Right.
Jordan Davis is still there, but I feel like he's. I think he's either going to be a Texan or a Raven. I don't think
I think he's probably a Raven. But
yeah, I had him going to Baltimore.
Yeah, I was thinking though, if you're Baltimore, I almost wonder if Baltimore's kind of in on like Kyle Hamilton or something like that. Because I think they would take like a Jordan Davis, but that just kind of feel like a Harbaugh thing to go for like Kyle Hamilton. I don't know.
It won't happen. I feel like dream scenario at this point. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton to the Chargers, but I think this Charger kind of like in their quote unquote worst case scenario at this point with all the top receivers gone. by pick
Yeah.
12. So
I don't know if it's worst case scenario. I know the fans love receivers, and obviously we want to capitalize Herbert. But I think a lot of people are overlooking the secondary and the team's moves to, they brought in J.C. Jackson, but they didn't make any other depth signings. Tavon Campbell's still the fourth best cornerback in the building. There's the report from Popper that the team potentially is not very high on Michael Davis. And if that's true, and you have Asante's 2 concussions last year, you don't know how year 2 is going to be from him, especially if you're moving him into the slot. Like, I think they view cornerback or just defensive back in general as a much bigger need than I think most people put on them. Especially with what they've done all offseason compared to last offseason. I mean, they went all in on offense and then secured that in the draft, picking Slater and whatnot. Just based on what Staley wants and how bad the defense was last year. And these receivers are fun, but I mean, if Williams fell, obviously they would have taken him, but there's elite receivers in every draft. And I think if they're looking at it, they think they have 2 more years of Keenan. They could take a receiver next year or the year after. Like last year we were raving about all these elite receivers, and this year it's the same thing. And next year it'll be the same thing with 3 or 4 guys. So
do you guys think,
yeah, that's true.
You think they take McDuffie over Penning? Say McDuffie's still available?
I think so, but I mean, that's personal opinion. I could be wrong.
I think so, but I'm kind of 50-50 on that one. I could see it going either way, just because I do think the right tackle need is so glaring, but Telesco has talked a lot about this week not drafting for need, so, take that for what it means, but...
Oh, wow. Garofalo just said the Eagles and the Texans made a trade. The Eagles are trading up to 13.
This is the second trade. This is the second draft stream in a row the Eagles have traded up.
So in exchange for 15, 124, 162, and 166.
Where's your guys' stream at? The Lions haven't made the pick official. Are you guys there with me? Am I behind?
You said 15. Yeah, the Lions haven't picked yet, technically.
Okay.
Same here.
Even though I think it's supported Jameson.
Yet, but I think you read that tweet, and we're just assuming that Williams is going. But so the Eagles are
wait, sorry, 15,
124, 122, and 166 to move up 2 spots.
To move up 2 spots?
Yep.
Okay.
Who's your guy? You think it's Jordan Davis to jump Baltimore?
No. It could be. No, I don't think it would be Jordan Davis. See, I think because I think Howie would kind of be comfortable taking like a Devontae Wyatt. I think that he kind of would be. So I don't think it's Jordan Davis.
I'm gonna say Jordan Davis because I'm looking at that Baltimore. I mean, that Baltimore team who could take or who has Jordan Davis high on their board, and I think they're trying to jump them to get Davis. But if you think that Wyatt would be a better player, I just simply feel like the Ravens really want to.
See, it would make a lot more sense for this to be Lions take Willis, Eagles take Williams, which is what I don't understand about this.
Yep. That's why they said the draft is crazy. No one knows what's going to happen. And I can see Olave going ahead of Williams.
Damn it. Jameson Williams, That's frustrating.
I think it has to be Davis. Otherwise, I don't know.
That's my guess with the Eagles pick.
I'd be very happy with Jordan Davis. I mean, I guess all the receivers are kind of gone now. So Howie doesn't have many options here. I guess they're probably going to do like Davis now and then corner at 18. That's kind of what I think, but I don't know.
Any chance Hamilton falls?
You know what? I don't. Houston.
This could also. I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles trade up for Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, that's true too.
That wouldn't surprise me.
This is why I'm like team trade back with how the board is falling. I'm like, get more picks, trade back with the. Jump the Saints, trade. Yeah, jump the Saints, trade with the Steelers, get something out of it. But yeah, this scenario right here, I'd want to trade back, but I think the Chargers will still stay put.
Yeah, someone else in the chat a few minutes ago mentioned just trading down at this point.
No QB's taken, so maybe there's a team
Yeah.
move
Yeah.
up. You have the
I mean,
the
everyone
Saints are there
talked about
still, right?
the Steelers Saints possibility. Yeah, that's what everyone's kind of like been talking about. It's really kind of just the Steelers now, though. I would imagine if the Steelers want to jump the Saints for a quarterback,
That's what I was alluding to.
yeah, that would kind of be the one, I think.
What do you think the Chargers would get? I don't think, do they have a second round pick, or they only have a third round pick?
Yeah,
I was kind of tooling around. I feel like it would be a third round pick, or do they have a second round pick?
I don't know, but I feel like third is good value, or not
Yeah.
good value, but the proper value.
Third round picks, I would take that and only have to move back 3 spots. Because I'd still be able to get a guy like Zion Johnson, in my opinion, at 20.
Yeah, I think Zion's odds have probably shot up now as a result of all these receivers going off the board.
Steelers do have a second, so I could make them more likely to trade a third, though, for if they do want to move up.
A team to look out for that really like Zion Johnson or would be a good fit for them is Dallas. So I could see Dallas being aggressive or hoping that Zion falls to them too. But yeah, at this
I
point,
can see Zion going to Arizona.
Alex, Draft Network tweeted Jordan Davis, 13th pick.
yes, I was right. Yep.
Okay.
Kind of saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay
How
with
you feel about that?
that's good. I don't know about trading the 3 picks for it, but I do like Jordan Davis to the Eagles. I mean, they do need to boost that interior defensive line, and makes sense with Fletcher Cox going out the building. So that does make sense.
Wow.
And going back to Chargers, yeah, you're looking at Kyle Hamilton, Zion, Penning.
Yeah.
Duffy. We saw
Hamilton's
DJ
falling.
mock. I mean, he popped up. I think actually Dane Brugler was the first one to actually mock in his first official mock. I think he mocked Elon to the Chargers, and this was like his first ever mock draft. And his name popped up yesterday with DJ's mock, and I feel like DJ's pretty plugged in with the Chargers, obviously. So I wonder if there's something there with Elon to the Chargers, but yeah, that can kind of go with their philosophy of shoring up the secondary for sure. But I think at this point, it's going to be secondary or offensive line. I don't think Devontae Wyatt is high on their board given the off the field incident. What is it, 2 years ago or whatever? Hell of a player.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle, one, but I don't think he's on their board or at all just after that, because that was kind of a big deal. I know
Probably not.
What's up?
Oh, I said he's probably not on their board.
Yeah. And you have the sneaky ones. Again, do the Chargers consider a linebacker or no?
Yeah, linebacker, I think, as a result of this process, has become more of a possibility. I'd love to see the Chargers take Devin Lloyd just to see Steven's reaction live in person. But yeah, there was a little bit of a shift with a couple mock drafts. I know the PFF guys kind of mocked not Jordan Davis, Devin Lloyd to the Chargers a few days ago. So I guess linebacker has become more possible. Nakobe Dean too. That would be a possibility.
So I had him in my top 5. Here's a pick that would confuse people, but I would actually enjoy, and that's Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State. I would take him, not even in a trade back scenario. I like him so much that I would take him at 17.
Really?
I even said this on a
I know.
I think I like Ebiketie a lot, and for him to be
I know Tyler likes him a lot too.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at the board right now too, and it obviously the receivers are gone, the top tackles are gone. How much they value Penning, we don't know, or is Penning going to be gone? But still, we're in a position where, are they going to take Zion Johnson, plug him in at one of the guard spots, move Filer potentially to right tackle, or even pencil someone like, no one wants to hear about Pipkins at right tackle. So I know he's been working with Duke, and I feel like that's something that the Chargers are kind of, looking at the tape from last year and then seeing that he's working with obviously one of the best offensive line developers in the nation. And I wonder how the team feels about him, because he's going on year 3 now? Year
4.
Yeah.
4.
Or 4, yeah, 2019. So
Crazy.
yeah.
Crazy to think. That's
Yeah,
year 4.
Penning's been working with Duke too, though. So
Yeah.
they have to throw that into the equation as well.
It was just his wide hands, and that's what we saw on film.
Yeah,
too,
they fixed the wide hands problem, so there's no other problems apparently. Jason, I would like you to do a little bit of research for me. I have not checked the score of the Sixers game at all, and I will assume because nobody's talking shit in the chat, that means they won.
132-97 final. Congratulations.
Oh wow. Okay, that's why everyone's quiet in the chat today. I would get a lot of Toronto people in here if there's something bad happened, but
we're gonna shift to basketball talk just for a little bit before this pick comes in. Who's winning MVP? Obviously, you know I'm a Nuggets fan, Alex.
Oh,
so
you think you are a Nuggets fan? Oh,
Jokic or Embiid? Who's winning?
It's got to be Jokic, because I mean I saw all the media votes, and it was like Bill Simmons, Kevin O'Connor, and all those people were Jokic. So it's happening again. I think it should be Embiid, but I don't hate Jokic. I think he's worthy.
I feel like Ice Cube is taking over the draft.
Yeah, I saw the opening part of that where Roger Goodell threw him out as a meat shield and was like, "Hey, talk to the people so they don't boo me." that was pretty crafty on his part.
Oh wow. Okay, so this might even be a steal. I'm gonna tip it. Are we tipping or no? We're not tipping at all. If we see a tweet that
I mean, we've been tipping.
We've been tipping. Ravens are taking Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, that's what I think. That makes sense if Jordan Davis is off the board of the Eagles.
I feel like that's a steal right there for the Ravens, and especially in that defense too. Like that's a good pick for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I feel like with the Ravens, that was a team that needed a tackle. Anyone else here need a tackle? Texans or
the Saints need a tackle.
Well, they don't pick before the Chargers, so I'm saying is Penny going to be there at 17 or
trade up for Penny? Saints do it.
How would y'all feel about Jermaine Johnson? Someone in the chat, I forgot about him for a couple minutes. Someone in the chat brought that up.
I would love Jermaine Johnson in terms of value as a player, but I also think that they wouldn't take him because at this point they already have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, and they kind of only run 2 starting edges anyway. So I think they're probably going to wait till edge to the 3rd round. I'd be really interested in that selection though, because there's like been no buzz about Jermaine to the Chargers.
I really like him though. I really like him.
I figured he would be gone before 17.
I feel like a guy like Ebiketie kind of fits what Staley likes at that position a little bit more too. So that's why I think that Ebiketie would be higher on the Chargers board than someone like Jermaine Johnson as well. So and that's why I'm not opposed to taking him at 17. That could be like the sneaky selection, I guess you can say. But look at Jordan Davis, man. He's massive.
He's huge.
He's huge.
I'll throw out a name for 17. Christian Watson, because the Chargers met, I know, with Olave and Watson. The wide receivers are kind of quickly running off the board. We heard the report earlier today. They do want a receiver. I don't think they would necessarily take him over like a McDuffie, but I wouldn't be shocked if they kind of went in that direction.
With taking Christian Watson?
Yeah.
This draft has been kind of crazy, so I feel like
well, specifically the run on receivers, that and the report that they like really want a receiver. Not that like I buy that, but I think they want speed. Christian Watson gives you that. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a pick.
Is everyone here? So are you on NFL Network or no? Are you watching ESPN?
Jason's on ESPN. I think I'm on NFL.
Maddie, what are you on?
I'm on ESPN.
Okay, they already have him getting his jersey, or is it behind?
He's in Davis. He's in his hat.
Yeah.
So he hasn't gotten up to the podium for you guys yet?
He's
No.
currently walking down the hallway about
Okay,
to.
so you guys might be a little behind. Do you guys have NFL Network, or you just
He's now
prefer-
dancing. He just hugged.
I'm on
Roger
NFL
Goodell.
Network, but I think I'm like 5 seconds behind you, probably.
Are you where they're showing us highlights or no?
Yes.
The jersey. Oh,
shit.
now I'm on jersey. We're all on different times.
Little boy. Okay, so Hamilton will be 14. How much do the Texans like Davis Mills? Do they take the first quarterback or no? That's an also interesting thing to think about. Do they see Davis Mills as their guy, or do you think they could take Malik Willis right here with 15?
That's tough.
I think they could take a quarterback. I think they could. And that's one of the reasons I think they would probably be comfortable trading down is because they knew no one after them or between the Saints and where they were trading was going to take one. So maybe that was one of the reasons they felt all right.
I would consider that like dream scenario to get a guy like Stingley and then to get the top quarterback. Second pick, even after trading back. So.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how they think about Mills, because I know a lot of people are like Mills would be QB1 this year, in terms of how they feel about this quarterback class, which is a take. I think I probably would rank Malik Willis just over him in terms of attributes and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Depends how high on this quarterback class they are. I really expected Carolina to go quarterback, so that kind of threw me for a loop.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I mean, obviously we have 3 picks to go, but take your shot. Who are the Chargers taking with 17?
Trent McDuffie. I'm all in.
Like it, Alex?
I think Trent McDuffie at this point. But the Trevor Penning thing still looms.
I'll
Maddie,
go.
take yours.
I hope it's not Penning, but I'll say Penning just to throw the wild card out there instead of McDuffie. But I kind of hope it's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go McDuffie too. Like it's between Johnson and I'm saying that based on like what I want to happen, what I think the team will do. I was gonna say Johnson, but I think McDuffie just really fits what Staley likes the position, and I know that's been the talk of like, you know, is he a slot only guy? But no, I mean he's a little bit bigger than Jair Alexander. I think he's got like an inch on him too, and I don't know about the weight. But I really like McDuffie's tape. I liked him, you know, me being a Pac-12 guy, being able to watch those games too. I really liked his, you know, I like Kyler Gordon as well, but I have McDuffie a little bit higher than Gordon. So that would make sense.
Yeah. So I think Malik Willis and Matt Corral are at the draft, right? I don't think Kenny Pickett is there. Unless I'm wrong. I think it is Willis and Corral. So I guess those are the 2 guys they expect to go day 1.
So I saw a tweet because it's my boss, Neil Coulong. He's a Steelers guy, and I love when he quote tweets things. So he said, someone said the Steelers do not need a quarterback, not this year. Let Mitch bridge you to next year. And he said, the bridge to nowhere. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Steelers fans that think that, and I feel like there's like those old heads that like, you know, are diehard Steeler fans and like, no, Mitch Trubisky's our guy. I'm like, no, they probably want to quarterback.
No.
Hamilton is gone.
Yeah. I mean, the Steelers feel like the obvious Malik Willis spot now. I don't think there's anyone they would really have to jump for him at this point.
Here,
unless
like with the Texans or the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Texans and Saints are the potential Willis teams still.
Oh wow, the Ravens are trading Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
Rappaport just
okay.
Yeah.
For what? What's the compensation? Do we have compensation?
Are they getting their pick? Maybe first round pick for Hollywood Brown.
Ravens have traded wide receiver Hollywood Brown at number 100 to the Cardinals for the 23rd pick.
Ooh,
what? Wow. What?
That's
What?
That's. That's a steep
Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me go get some
price
water.
for.
Yes.
Hollywood
That's-
Brown is the 25th best receiver in the league, and you
That's
traded a
steep
first round
price
pick
for
for
Hollywood Brown. Yeah, I mean, like he can kind of be their new like Christian Kirk, but that's a lot to pay for Christian Kirk.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I'm shocked by that one.
Good for the Ravens, though.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what the Ravens do now. I guess they're probably gonna go for like a day 2 receiver. Maybe they go for like a Sky
They
Moore
take
type
a
guy.
receiver with this pick.
Oh, true. Oh yeah, they're on the board at 23. Crap, just
What
forgot.
a message that would send to Hollywood Brown. Be like, we just traded you for a pick, only to just draft a different receiver.
Yeah. Man, I would kind of think about Sky Moore if I was them, or if they wanted to go in that direction. I think that'd be fun.
Oh wow. Okay, so whoa. Who's Houston taking? Okay, so we got 2
no idea.
updates.
We have 2 updates.
The Draft Network tweeted that the Texans are taking Kenyon Green, 15th overall. And then
Okay.
Albert Breer tweeted shortly after that, the Commanders are taking Jahan Dotson at 16. Meaning, if these
What a
two are
board.
correct, the Chargers are up.
McDuffie.
Okay.
man.
So we have McDuffie, we have Penning, we have.
Penning to the Chargers, baby.
I did not expect it to be Green and Johnson. Zion Johnson. Still on the board. I knew I was gonna do it at some point today.
Same size.
Same size. I think Zion Williamson, depending on his weight right now, since he's not playing, might be a little bit bigger. But yeah, I kind of am thinking Zion now. That does kind of strike me as like BPA.
I'd be happy with Zion. I wasn't.
yeah.
I didn't think Kenyon Green. Well, he hasn't officially, but I didn't think he would go this high.
No, I didn't think he would go before Zion either.
Okay, Trevor or Trent? Who's it gonna be?
Or Zion. or anyone. I would be shocked at this point.
You know who I really like? I know they're probably not going to pick him, but if they traded down to like the late second or not late second, late first, I really like Daxton Hill. I really like him.
Yep.
I think that would be shocking. I don't think people would see that coming. I don't think they pick him over McDuffie if they were going to go that direction, but
no.
I don't know. Another thing to keep in mind. I mean, Nasir Adderley, free agent after this year. They got to pay Derwin. Is Adderley going to come back? I don't know. Maybe they want Adderley replaced. Nah, not yet. Not yet.
His contract is up. He was drafted 2019, right?
Yes, this is his last year.
This is Adderley's last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be stunned if they went that direction.
That's another reason I think they're going to go just defensive back in general. You know, when you look at that.
I saw a couple mocks having them go ahead and take Elam at 17, which is a little early, but I saw a couple of those, I think this morning actually.
I'll say Elam or I was gonna say Elam or Trent McDuffie. Outside chance, someone like Zion Johnson or Devin Lloyd.
Alex, I want to play a fun game. Which pick, realistic, obviously not like a quarterback, which pick would upset you the most? Like of someone you could realistically see them taking? Who's the Joshua Kelly of the first round?
It's Trevor Penning. Look, I don't think it would be that bad, and you would see the upside of it, but he's just not ready right now, and I think it's going to take till year 2 for him to be ready, and it's the team in win now mode. It does fill the tackle position because he's going to start from day 1. But yeah, the jump I think from FCS to NFL in year one, I think would be pretty rough for him. So I would hate the pick. I would totally understand why they would do it. But if you're looking for the one that leaves me the most unenthused, it would be that one.
Yeah, I probably would agree.
I think the whole fan base would also agree.
Yeah.
But like I told Alex pre-stream, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of the fan base didn't love the Herbert pick at first, and look how that turned out. So
Except me,
true.
baby.
Yeah, Gavino was on our stream and he loved the Herbert pick.
Oh,
credit where credit is due.
I remember.
I'm not even afraid to say it. I ended up like kind of shedding a tear because one, it was like a pass the torch, but at the same time, I knew that he was going to be great. That's why I had to get off the stream so quick. So I saw a tweet from, I think it was Breer, and I was like, I went crazy, and people were like, what? And they knew automatically that Herbert was a pick. So I know I screwed up. I got the Jerry Tillery pick right too. So the year before that, it didn't pan out, but
it didn't.
I made up for it with Justin Herbert.
I remember being on that. It was a Patreon thing for Guilty as Charged at the time, and it was Gavino, Tyler, and Steven and Jason were running it. And I remember I put it on mute so the pick wouldn't spoil, and I just see Steven and Tyler. I saw Jason and Tyler put their hand into their hands like this, and I just saw Gavino like fist pumping when they took Herbert.
Not me, Jason. Other Jason.
Yeah, Jason Ballier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just knew at that moment they took Herbert. Yeah.
Do we think Washington takes McDuffie here?
No, that someone tweeted that they're taking Dotson.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if I see
Dotson's
a tweet,
interesting.
Yeah,
I don't love Dotson there for them.
I would take Traylon Burks.
Oh shit! Gilbert just said it. Zion Johnson's a Charger.
Steven's gonna go crazy.
Steven's gonna go crazy. Number one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, someone said Tyler tweeted he was at the draft and he was wearing a blue and gold suit. So I think that might have been a little bit of a prelude to what we're getting now.
I like that pick.
I love that pick. Thank God it's not Trevor Penning. I was gonna have to like hold my breath. But no, but Zion Johnson's the best guard in this class, and the ability to put him there, and then you can put Ibushi there at right guard. I mean, I think that just makes too much sense. And then you just still have to figure out the tackle thing, but you can figure that out on day 3 or sign a vet like Riley Rice. So I just didn't think the need to take Penning was there.
There's also the kick out Matt Filer option.
Yeah, no, they can do the kick out Matt Filer option too, and now they're probably more prepared to do the kick out to Matt Filer option. And then if you re-sign Ibushi, your offensive line is basically complete because it would be Slater, Johnson, Lindsley, Ibushi, and then Filer.
Wow. I don't want to halt the Chargers talk here. I also like the Zion Johnson pick, even though I personally was convinced it was cornerback. I was wrong. Adam Schefter tweeted, Titans are trading A.J. Brown to the Eagles.
What? Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
For what? What's the conversation?
I haven't seen yet. I would imagine it might be your pick if it's just getting reported now. But
that's fine. I don't care. AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. Now we just need a quarterback. Bryce Young next year. Oh, AJ Brown is an Eagle. Wow.
Here comes the pink shirt.
Oh, hey, Zion Johnson, you Charger.
Zion, this is the best night of my life. So Jordan Davis, AJ Brown, Zion Johnson. I am happy.
Okay, we got a comp update. So the Titans are trading AJ Brown to the Eagles in exchange for Philadelphia's 18th overall pick and another 3rd round pick.
That's fine. That's fine. Give it to him. I don't care.
No.
Titans taking quarterback then at 18?
Oh, I mean they could. Isn't Tannehill? I don't know what Tannehill's contract situation is. I remember I looked this up once before, and I think he's like locked there for like 2 years or something before they can get out of it. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Someone said, after I said my number one target is going to be a Charger, because I quote tweeted what I said 2 days ago. Someone said, Gavino wanted Herbert, I ride it with Gavino. I can't wait for someone to respond to that and be like, Gavino also wanted Tillery. I'll give it like I'll give it 5 minutes before someone says, oh, but also.
It was funny. I saw a tweet today that was like listing all the Chargers like first round picks of the last like 5-6 years, and you just see like the monster numbers that Joey Bosa and Derwin James and like all those guys had put up, and then Jerry Tillery is there, and it was like Jerry Tillery 9.5 sacks in 3 seasons, and I was just like, ooh, that's brutal to stick him in between those guys.
Jason, is that you?
Yeah, that was me.
No. I shouldn't have said anything.
I'll delete it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I told you, I was like, someone's going to say it. I'm like, wait, it's both of you. Shit. Zion Johnson, man. Again, not a sexy pick, but probably the safest pick. And then at the end of the day, Trevor Penning isn't a Charger. So.
Yeah. Trevor Penning's going to slide quite a bit now, it seems like, unless I don't think the Titans are going to take him.
Saints maybe.
Saints could be the spot. That is true.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think Zion at this point for a win now team was the most pro ready prospect. Like, you have to take him.
You're looking at a really good athlete. He's got quick feet.
Yeah.
He's got the upper body strength. Again, he's a plug and play. It's gonna be interesting to see. I would assume left guard and then move Filer to right tackle. But again, that's kind of just what I'm going with. And then as far as the right guard, just re-sign Ibushi. You're set.
Pretty much.
Steven still hasn't tweeted. Surprised.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how the internet is there. I don't think it's very
he thinks it or something, probably. Like, yeah, he's yeah.
He's on a different planet. Yeah, no, I mean, when Steven brought up Zion at 17 like a month and a half ago, I was like, you're crazy. That's not gonna happen. And here we are. This is Steven's like best fantasy option.
After seeing, I don't know if y'all saw it a couple weeks ago, Zion on Good Morning Football, he kind of won me over after that sit down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, Zion just looks like a Charger.
Yeah, it kind of does. He's got that look to him.
All right, so let's pivot. What's round 3? I mean, obviously a lot needs to happen, and who's even there.
Oh, yeah.
But is it? I'm gonna ride and just say corner. I'm just gonna keep banking on that being. I'll just eventually, if I keep saying next pick is corner, I'll eventually be right. But are you guys, receiver? If there's a receiver that falls, like, what are you guys thinking? Again, I mean, a lot needs to happen, but
yeah, a lot does need to happen.
Because I wouldn't hate the idea of taking a corner in round 3, whoever's there, and then if someone, Bo Melton, who I know Steven is high on as well.
Bo Melton would be a great pick there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think wide receiver or corner. I'll say one of those two. Because I think they were sort of hoping maybe that the board would break in a way that where Olave slipped to 17 or Jameson did, and obviously those didn't happen. But I'm curious to see if there's any possibility they trade back into the second. That I think will be the thing to watch. I don't think they will. But they do technically like have the capital to make that work if they wanted with like a third and all the 6th and 7th they have. So and maybe they could trade a pick next year. So they have something to make that work.
What's gonna be nice though is the combo of Johnson and Slater on the left side. Because again, even though you're moving Filer to right tackle, we're assuming like that's gonna be pretty nasty on the left side with Johnson and Slater.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, to kind of pivot on your point a little bit, one of the things I predicted that I think the team will do in this draft is I think I could see them packaging like 5 and 6 or 2 6s, or because we always see these like 3rd and 4th round trades. I have a feeling they're going to trade up and get a 2nd, 4th rounder. So I obviously that's not tomorrow, but just get another pick in the 4th round and kind of in whatever order the next 3 picks go: corner, receiver, and then maybe interior defensive line or something like that. I just, when you look at the roster, and obviously there's only so many roster spots and they have so many picks, it just seems like they're set up perfectly to package a few of those compensatory picks for another 4th or an early 5th or something where there's a guy they like who falls, So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
I can't believe I already called him Zion Williamson on the first podcast that we did about him. That's great. But
it won't be the last time either.
I hope it'll be the last time. I have to get used to saying it now. Any updates on what the Titans are doing?
I haven't seen anything.
The pick is in, but I haven't seen what.
Quarterback would be crazy for them if they just went with Malik Willis and fuck Ryan Tannehill.
I have a feeling it's going to be quarterback.
Traded number 1 receiver and then draft a replacement.
Honestly, I mean, they traded AJ. Like, what are they? That makes me think it's a quarterback, unless they just really didn't want to pay him that money. That's probably what it was about. If they had like a contract dispute with him, but or they trade AJ Brown and like get Trey Lance. Yeah, that's possible. So which would be the ultimate, like, which would be the ultimate, we don't want to pay you, so we're just gonna get your cheap 4-year replacement that plays like you.
Well, like, do you think the Cardinals saw this trade and they're pissed off? Like, they traded the 23rd pick for Hollywood Brown, and then AJ Brown goes for 18 in the third.
Oh yeah, they could have had AJ. Oh my god, they could have had AJ Brown and Deandre Hopkins.
Great.
Wow.
So the Titans got Burks.
Okay.
Okay. They did go Burks. Okay, so the receivers are flying.
Yeah.
And now Cardinals. Yeah, I wonder if the Ravens feel pressure to take a receiver now or at 23, or if they're just going to wait.
Alex, per Rappaport, Brown gets a 4-year extension for $100 million, $57 million guaranteed with the Eagles.
That's fine. What was the wide receiver? Oh, DeAndre Hopkins had the highest AAV, right? Because he had 27.
Yeah, I mean, 4 years, 100 mil, 57 mil guaranteed. I don't think that's bad.
What was that Stephon Diggs contract? I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I can't tell you off the top of my head either.
Yeah, I remember he got extended. 4 years, 100 is not bad though. I mean, that seems pretty in line with like the next guys to get paid, and obviously Debo's going to be coming up. All those receivers that get tweeted out like every month will get paid too.
So he'll be the 4th highest in terms of average behind Tyreek, Devontae, and DeAndre. He's $1 million more than Stephon Diggs per year.
I'm fine with that. That's great to me. And Devontae is obviously still on his rookie contract. Jalen or whoever the next quarterback is going to be is probably going to be on their rookie contract as well.
Yeah.
So pay him all the money he wants.
Well, the market's only going to go up. That was my argument with paying Mike Williams. Is like,
oh yeah,
he might be the 6th highest paid receiver when they sign him, but we've already seen like 4 receivers get more money than him. So it's just going to keep going up. So pay him when you can if you think they're good. And obviously they do. I mean, he is good. He's AJ Brown.
Let's get some grades in the chat. If you grade it from an A to an F of the Zion Johnson pick, what do you guys think in the chat below?
Alex, I feel dumb. What is this live on? Is it live on YouTube?
It's live on YouTube. It's live on my Twitter. I think it's live on the GAC Twitter. I don't know, but it is live on YouTube.
I've been wanting to see what people say, but I didn't know what it was live on. So,
well, if you're in the StreamYard thing, you can look at the comments. There's a comments tab.
I've just been on private chat the whole time.
most
What's up, guys?
everyone I think is pretty happy, but I did see one where someone is not happy at all with this pick. 3 emojis.
He wanted Penning probably.
Yeah, the Penning, the very small Penning fan club is not happy with this pick.
I don't know, y'all. I'm pretty happy with it. I do have to run, but I would give it a solid B plus.
Yeah, I give it an A minus.
Could always be better, but I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. Steven's gonna give it an A plus when he comes in. But thank you, Maddie, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, it was fun, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off soon here too. I'll stay till I don't know. We'll see how many more picks.
Yeah,
I think I'd give it an A.
I'll stay probably till. Sorry, Jason. I'll probably stay till Baltimore because then after that, I just got a bunch of writing to do with this.
Okay.
I'm
all right.
No, I give this pick an A though. Just it obviously wasn't what I thought would happen, but given who was on the board and best player available, it fits a need, and now you have flexibility with the offensive line. Whether it's Filer at right tackle, whatever they do, I still don't think people should sleep on Pipkins. I know people don't like Pipkins. Gavino's brought it up a few times. Obviously, it's camp is going to decide, but I wouldn't be shocked if he comes out and has a good camp. He looked good in the one game he played at right tackle last year. We got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, he looked good against Kansas City. I mean, they helped him a couple times, but other than that, he looked much better than the player we saw in 2020 and previous years. Night and day. So, and if he's working with Duke Manyweather, I know that holds a lot of weight with the Chargers.
Did you see Tyler's tweet?
I haven't looked at Twitter, so I don't know.
Okay, so he said source prediction was defense, but not wide receiver. He said didn't matter anyway. All of them were gone, but they cited Williams' extension and Josh Palmer. So again, this could really have a reflection on the rest of the draft. Maybe they don't go wide receiver because I know we've been penciling in wide receiver round 3 or 4, but maybe they really go all in on the defense with the remaining of the draft. Because again, there's some holes, there's some depth spots that need to be filled. We talked about corner. I think they need another safety. That interior defensive line, I would not be surprised if they come away with 2 interior defenders, especially with the potential replacement for Jerry Tillery next year, and then an edge defender. So that could be a sneaky spot right there. I'm thinking edge defender like round 5 or 6. Look at where they took Rumpf, and I don't know how they value him. Maybe they expect him to take a big leap. They still need another edge defender, but if we look at the where Brandon Staley was, he was with the Broncos, and for him, they took Justin Hollins. So Justin Hollins was taken by the Broncos in the 5th round, and that's kind of what I've been kind of resorting to when it comes to the edge defenders. So I feel like that's a position where the team can do a really good job of developing players, and that's why I started that whole series of finding the edge. I mentioned Alex Wright. I mentioned Luigi Filon. I mentioned David Anene from Houston. But I'm looking at guys that fit that mold of what Staley looks at the position. Because I know we talked about guys like Kingsley and Nagbare. I don't really think he fits that mold that Staley likes. He doesn't have the explosiveness that he covets. So there's certain criteria that we have to look at, when it comes to just defense and what Staley likes. So it's not just yep, I think he's good. Let's put him to the Chargers. He really has a certain criteria when he looks at the defensive players. So
right. Are we thinking Penning at 19 to the Saints here?
I just saw it on Twitter. It is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that might have been their ideal scenario. I feel like
I think so too. Because that's not a situation where I think he's expected to compete right away. I mean, he'll be thrown in, but they're not in win now mode. Although they think they're in win now mode with Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton. Have fun with that. But I think that's a better environment for him.
Steelers are taking Malik Willis, right?
Yeah,
can't not take him here.
Lock that in. Yeah, I mean that's been the buzz this whole time. So I would be surprised if it was anyone different. The Steelers are up at 20, and then who's up at 21?
New England.
New England. Okay.
That seems like I like the. I feel like Devin Lloyd or someone to the Patriots would be like the Bill Belichick dream right there. Like Devin Lloyd or like the Kobe Dean. I feel like it's gonna be one of those two that goes to the Patriots.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah, that feels like a Devin Lloyd spot.
So is this where the first quarterback comes off? Do we think Willis is going to be a Steeler?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
This is like their dream scenario. I mean, they had Pickett, they had Willis. Like they have all the quarterbacks. No quarterback has been taken up to this point. So
you know who they really seemed to like during the pre-draft process? I don't know why I was researching quarterback Steelers liked for a potential trade down scenario. And I was reading some stuff about God, why is his name blanking on me? The UNC kid.
Howell,
yeah. Obviously it could all just be smoke and mirrors, but a lot of stuff seemed like they really liked Sam Howell. So I don't know. I mean, that would be quite the pick if they picked him at 20.
yeah.
But I mean, you can't if they pass on Willis here and they take someone like Sam Howell, I mean, they deserve what's coming.
Again, we've seen how crazy this draft is, and
yeah.
we didn't know how this would shape up, and I definitely did not see like Jahan Dotson going as early as he did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know there's a run on the wide receivers, but him being picked at 16, that's kind of surprising. And then Treylon Burks, so that's what 6 receivers were taken before the 20th pick.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. I just didn't expect Jahan Dotson to be the guy after that, like Jameson Williams tier.
Yeah. So, I mean, now you're looking at just Christian Watson.
Christian Watson, Sky Moore.
Do we think Sky Moore? Do we think Christian Watson sneaks into the first round with a pick like because the Packers? Do we think wide receiver is going to the Packers?
I would think
no?
so.
I think he sneaks into the first round for sure at this point.
I'm looking at one of those Packers picks, and I feel like they have to go receiver with one of them. I thought the Packers were going to be a team that was going to trade up. I know they were mentioned trading up for a wide receiver, but I feel like you're looking at Christian Watson going to the Packers, even like a Sky Moore going to the Packers with one of those picks. So there might even be 8 wide receivers at the end of the first round because you also have to look at the Chiefs too. And I think that they're high on a guy like Sky Moore or Watson. So, yeah, 8 receivers in the first round. That's pretty crazy if that ends up coming to fruition. Yeah, with the Steelers pick here.
Steelers pick is already in.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think we know.
Oh my God. I'm not going to tell you guys.
Not going to tell me. But you said, oh my God.
It's not super oh my God worthy. It's not Sam Howell oh my God worthy, but it's it's not who I would pick. Granted, I mean, obviously. I'm sure it's not who you guys would pick either, though.
I just saw it right there.
Quarterback still?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Ritter? No.
It's some
Pickett?
people's top. Yeah, it's Pickett. So that's why I'm like, it doesn't
really.
I thought it would be Pickett or Willis. I didn't think it was me.
I don't like Pickett, guys. I'll be honest.
Ooh.
Didn't like him for the hand size or.
I just everything about him. He wears 2 gloves.
Hey.
He's one of the. I'll be honest. I didn't watch a ton of Kenny Pickett films. Like I didn't need to, but he's just one of those guys where like I didn't like the little bit I did see, and something about him I don't like, and I could be completely wrong about this, but like I want to play Kenny Pickett every week. That's just how I feel about him.
Yeah, we go from Teddy 2 gloves to Kenny 2 gloves.
I said I just felt like with the Pittsburgh ties and everything, it kind of made sense. I really thought they liked this more than Pickett, but I guess not.
His name's literally Pickett. Like that's the worst quarterback name to have.
Oh, it is the worst quarterback name.
I
mean, I guess maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess. No, I was just gonna say maybe we should have thought of the Pittsburgh connection more than people did, but it was just kind of assumed Malik Willis from the beginning. So maybe that was just smoke to get people off the Kenny Pickett thing. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say, wasn't it nice not having to watch the quarterbacks? One, because this class was not the greatest, but I'm just saying, wasn't it nice not having to watch quarterbacks at all?
See, I see Tyler and Steven didn't watch any quarterbacks, but I watched like 7 of them.
I didn't watch a single quarterback.
I had 3 quarterbacks in my top 50. I had what did I have? I had Malik Willis at 15 on my board. I had I had Carson Strong at 30, and then I had Desmond Ridder at 42. I like Carson Strong a lot, but I know the knee thing is gonna knock him down. Unfortunately,
I only really actually watched Malik Willis just because.
Oh yeah,
hype around him, and I wanted to see it. I think he's gonna be good.
So
I would have picked him, but
who the teams after Pittsburgh now? So where do we think Malik Willis could go?
I think New England goes
Not New England.
So we got New England, Green Bay, Baltimore, Dallas, Buffalo are the next however many.
Oh, please let Green Bay take Malik Willis. Green Bay takes.
Oh my
god.
I'm interested to see how far McDuffie falls. I mean,
they should
McDuffie going to New England too.
They should trade Jordan.
I honestly think McDuffie won't get past Baltimore.
Okay, yeah,
probably.
I thought
Maybe
McDuffie was
not.
Raven with their original pick, but I feel like him sitting there with Baltimore picking again. I think one, it goes to show maybe what Baltimore thought of Hollywood Brown, and then also what them getting that pick, that they would think that McDuffie would be there, because I know that they need a corner as well. So, do we think Green Bay goes wide receiver with their first pick, or do you think they go with like maybe a George Karlaftis or something? Because I think they need another edge.
I think they probably go Karlaftis.
And the wide receiver with their second pick?
Yeah, something like that. Because I think now they feel like they can wait till a Christian Watson or a Sky Moore is on the board, but they take like an edge or corner first or something.
Jorge Rodriguez asked on YouTube, so you guys think they'll plug in Johnson next to Slater or next to Filer, assuming Filer's the right tackle? Yeah, I would assume left side.
Next to Slater. Yeah.
Next to Slater, no doubt. And again, they kind of position themselves where they not have to, but it would be ideal to re-sign Ibushi after the draft, because the line's set once that's.
Yeah.
I love Ibushi.
Yeah, I think they bring Ibushi back too. And even if they don't, like, that's a position where I think if you have Filer at right tackle and then Lindsley at center, I think that would be a spot where you could probably plug in Jaimez and get away with it if they wanted to and not re-sign Ibushi. But yeah, no, I think they definitely bring Ibushi back.
I feel like with Filer being at right tackle, I mean, even if even putting Jaimez in as a starter, it'll still elevate his play a little bit with Filer having that experience over there too. So it wouldn't be as detrimental if you feel like Jaimez isn't ready to be a starter yet, based on like how comfortable you are. But I feel like I would be comfortable having a guy like Filer at right tackle to maybe elevate his play, help him out over there.
Kenny Pickett must have known he was going to the Steelers, because his whole family's got terrible towels.
Obviously, being in Pittsburgh too, I'd assume that. But
yeah, no, he's actually not in Pittsburgh. He's in New Jersey.
Patriots trading back, according to Rappaport. Haven't seen what.
With, or they haven't said with who.
Haven't seen yet. Oh, Chiefs. This is relevant.
Okay, is this their one receiver here, you think?
I would imagine.
You think they're scared of Green Bay snagging their receiver?
Probably.
Gotcha.
Unless they're super high on one of the defensive backs, but
this seems like Christian Watson, Sky Moore territory. Sky Moore specifically, I could see going here as like their theoretical Tyreek replacement.
I mocked him to the Chiefs, and someone ridiculed me. I was kind of upset about it. This will be my last pick since it's Chargers adjacent. I got to hop off right.
That's okay.
It's been fun though. This has been great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pink
it's
shirt
not
work.
like the Chargers community, but specifically just like the Chargers content creators on a live
No.
stream. It's
It was
definitely
awesome to do
fun.
this.
I'm looking forward to day 2 with you, Alex. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, that leading
And we'll get Kyle on day 2. So he'll be joining us, and yeah.
Okay, so the Chiefs, do we have compensation? Or you said there's nothing. Yeah.
Haven't seen yet.
Okay. Okay, so we know that it's one of their first round picks.
Yeah, for sure.
Right there, but
They got a lot of picks too. I think they have 2 in the second and 2 in the third. Like they have a lot. So them trading up always made sense.
I have to clip out my AJ Brown reaction after this because I just went crazy after I saw that.
As soon as it happened, I knew that was a
yeah, because that was one of the things where I just didn't see the comments, and the comments didn't spoil it for me. And then I saw you, and I haven't had Twitter open at all, so yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to wonder what the Chargers board looked like. Obviously, it's clear that Zion Johnson was there, and I assume that Kenyon Green wasn't because he went before. He had to be their number 1 interior offensive lineman, and to me, he was my number 1 interior offensive lineman, even over Linderbaum. Linderbaum was 2, and Cole Strange was 3, actually.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes me believe that Johnson was probably their number 1 interior offensive lineman, and that's what they ended up going with. Again, I'm sure it came down to, like Tyler mentioned, defensive side of the ball. So it could have been Trent McDuffie or Elam versus Johnson, and then I'm sure they ended up just going with their number 1 interior offensive lineman at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think so. And Linderbaum, unfortunately, doesn't have any guard value for them, and they have Lindsay.
Yeah.
That I think that was always kind of never going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Jorge says in the chat, I wonder if they would have gone Penning if someone else drafted Johnson.
I think then it's definitely McDuffie.
Yeah. I still think it would have been McDuffie too. I do think them taking Johnson over Penning, despite the positional thing, makes me think that the attitude and the rap sheet on Penning kind of was not their thing.
McDuffie's gonna be a Chief.
Okay, McDuffie to the Chiefs.
That's definitely a Chiefs type.
That one sucks. He's good.
That's a Chief type corner right there. So
I kind of bet that they wanted to trade higher for a wide receiver and then just weren't able to because of the other offers people were making. So I think at this point you don't want to reach for a receiver, take a corner, and kind of build that defense up. I think.
I got one for you. So is Boya Malfe going to be a first rounder? Because I think he is, and I'm looking at teams like the Chiefs, and I feel like Minnesota also needs an edge defender too. I feel like Malfe is going to be a first rounder. Do you think he is, or do you think he's going to fall out?
I don't know with Jermaine's still there, and
Jermaine's there.
I mean, Ebiketie should be off the board. I mean, he should be the next edge defender, in my opinion. But
I'll say Jermaine's probably 1 or 2 of the last ones today.
I mean,
and then those guys
Jermaine Johnson to the Packers.
Oh, Karlaftis too.
Yeah,
so
Karlaftis
I think
there too, and
I'll say Jermaine and Karlaftis are probably the last 2 off the board today. But
who's our last surprise? Are you going Sky Moore's going to be taken in the first round, or do you have another guy who's going to sneak in there? Because again, there's been a lot of surprises. We didn't expect Dotson to be first rounder, so
yeah,
we already have that. So my question to you is, who's going to be that last surprise? To me, it's Mafe because no one's expecting him, but I think they're going to bet on the athletic traits, no matter what you think of his film. So I think Mafe will be a first rounder. What do you guys think? Who's going to be a surprise pick in the first round?
What if the surprise is not who gets picked in the first round, but
falls?
I was gonna say if Malik Willis falls out of the first round, that would be pretty.
Happy to take. Do we think another quarterback's gonna be taken here? Do you think Minnesota would want to take a quarterback like Willis, or no? You don't think quarterbacks high on their board and they're kind of
no? Well, they just they extended Kirk another year, and they have Kellen Mond, so I don't think they're gonna take a quarterback.
Imagine if Malik falls to Detroit at 34 and they get him anyways. Did they trade 34 in that trade?
I think they trade 34 in that trade, right?
Okay. I don't remember anymore.
I think
so much.
There's been so many trades that I've forgotten.
How would you fight the pickup for them though? If I'm assuming they don't have 34 though.
You know, it's crazy to think too. And I saw a tweet that the Chargers took offensive linemen back-to-back years. You know, with Phillip Rivers, they were banking on.
You never did that.
Nope. Never did that. So I kind of feel bad.
The only year that they took one was like Fluker.
Yeah.
2013,
man.
Yeah, that's the only one that I remember, and certainly in Telesco.
Somewhere Phillip Rivers is punching air, but that's crazy to think. Yeah, they're really trying to get the most out of Justin Herbert's contract. So I don't blame them, and that's why I'm saying that Zion Johnson isn't a sexy pick, but it was probably the safest pick, and he should be
absolutely
contributor.
All right, after this pick is in, I know I said last pick, but after this one, I'll bounce out.
All right. God, I want it to be Malik Willis so bad.
It'd be so funny.
Yes.
It makes no sense, but it'd be so funny.
Just they trade Jordan Love and they immediately draft Malik Willis. I think this is probably going to be Karlaftis or receiver.
Yeah, Karlaftis is a Packers type of player.
Whoa.
You already know what it is, and it's kind of surprised. Is that what you said? Whoa.
I couldn't tell. I'm assuming I can't tell if this is a speculative tweet or actual reporting the way it was wording, so I just won't say anything. But oh, I don't know if you guys just heard that computer noise.
I did just hear
wow. Quay Walker was the first linebacker taken.
Quay Walker to the Packers?
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
No, it came through on the TV. Wow. And I think I saw a tweet if Quay Walker goes before, I think it was Nakobe Dean.
That I don't understand. I mean, I get the Quay Walker upside thing, but I'm not taking him over Devin Lloyd, even if I wanted a linebacker. And I'm also not taking a linebacker. I would have taken a wide receiver, would have taken an edge.
Source Bills are now on the clock. Another trade. They traded.
Oh, so what did the Bills move up from, like 26 to 24 or something?
Something like that, yeah. 20.
What are they trying to jump? The Cowboys or the Ravens to get someone? I'm trying to think of what the Bills are. What are their needs?
They need interior offensive line help, if I'm not mistaken. Linderbaum? I don't know who the pick is here.
Tomo says in the chat, which team got the best two players so far? So we have Lions with Hutchinson and Williams. We have Texans with.
No, I really like the Giants draft.
Giants. God, it's hazy to me at this point. What did the Giants do?
They got Thibodeau.
Evan Neal.
They got Evan Neal.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I feel like that's kind of like was a dream scenario for them to get Thibodeau there and then also get, to some the consensus, stop tackle.
Texans were Stingley and who?
Texans were Stingley and
I don't remember.
This is all.
Jets had Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner too.
I go Jets out of that group. I like Sauce and
I like both of them a lot too.
I like Sauce and Garrett Wilson the most.
To me, top corner and then top receiver.
It's between Jets Giants for me. I think on this one, the Saints got Olave and Penning.
They're losers.
I don't know how I feel about that one. They might be the loser out of that group.
Yeah.
And then Eagles with Jordan Davis and AJ Brown, which I'm more than fine with.
I think, yeah, because you have to put some question marks over the Saints because, one, Olave, I would have taken Williams over Olave. Obviously, they probably are looking at a play now type receiver. And then with Penning, again, like how we feel about Penning, but they needed a tackle, so they took him there. In my opinion, I would have taken someone like Abraham Lucas, who I had over Penning. But again, that was something that they needed for. That's something that they initially traded up for, and we thought they were going to grab. I'm sure they would have rather had one of the top three tackles. But yeah, the Saints are one of those teams where it's just like Olave over Williams and then just Penning. So yeah, I wouldn't say that their draft was the greatest thing in the world, in my opinion. And then you have teams that were like, is that a reach, like Jahan Dotson going to the Commanders. So I think we can kind of like pull out of like who the winners and losers, I guess, or just so far. It'll be interesting to see how the end of the first round plays out here, but I think we'll see some surprises in my opinion.
Losers, the Pittsburgh Steelers. If we're talking about recent ones, I don't buy the Kenny Pickett thing.
All right, gentlemen. Well, it's been a great time.
Yeah,
I'm a hop out.
Thanks for hopping on, man.
Yeah, man.
Great.
Nice meeting you, man. And again, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys have fun. Stay up on the grind. I know these next few days, Gavino, I'm with you, man. It's a grind these next few days. So,
especially that we know how that day 3 feels, man. As a writer, it's a lot. It'll be worth it though. So until let's go, we trust.
Yes, sir.
Until let's go, we trust indeed.
You guys have a good night. Everyone watching, thanks for tuning in, and also have a good night. Thanks for having me on, Alex.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
Yeah, man. So again, I'll probably be on for a couple more picks too, and then I'll hop off so I can finish my writing. But again, this is a interesting first round. You know what I actually want from the chat? I want you to put in what you think the Chargers are going to do in the third round. I feel like that's something that can spark up the conversation. So let us know who or what you think, position, it doesn't matter, what the Chargers are going to do in round 3. It would be nice to have a second round pick, and
it would be nice.
It doesn't make the draft as fun having to wait until round 3, but I'll take Khalil Mack all day in that spot. So
I'll say corner or receiver still. I think I'll lean towards corner because I do think they want to stack up on those guys, Brandon Staley's defense, and I think the cornerbacks kind of have already started to go fast, but they're gonna pick up in speed too. I think they probably want to get their guy on day 3.
Okay, so one of the things that you'll have to do is when you hop off here or whatever, you'll have Arjun put Steven's reaction.
He did. Oh my god, I have to watch that when I get off.
We'll watch Steven on Arjun's Twitter.
Yeah, I think the only I can imagine watching it. The only reaction that would have been more intense is if they took Devin Lloyd.
Should and what they think they'll do. Alex?
In general, I think it probably makes a lot of sense to take like cornerback. I think just to kind of like replace that Chris Harris like hole in their defense right now. Because you get an immediate upgrade there, and that's what people were sort of talking about, like with McDuffie. So I think they could kind of go in that direction. Offensive tackle makes a lot of sense if the offensive tackle market kind of like cools in this draft a little bit, and then you can get a guy with like potential starter vibes maybe on day 3. I think that's still kind of a long shot with where they're picking in the third round, but I wouldn't be shocked if they went offensive tackle either because they went Zion here.
Oh, wow. So the Bills traded up and they took Elam.
Okay. That makes sense for them.
One was a lead and with that defense too.
So now they have
join Trey White.
Yeah, they got Trey White. They got Kyrie Lum. That's a good duo.
What was Trey White's injury again? Was it an ACL?
I think it was an ACL. Let me look it up. I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, ACL on Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah, they needed a cornerback. That was a need for them too. So I mean that makes sense, and just given the play style and everything, I feel like that's a Bills type corner. Cowboys up on the clock. It'll be interesting to see where they go. I'm sure they're hoping that a player like Zion Johnson, hell, even Kenyon Green would fall to them. So what do they need? They need receivers, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all the guys they kind of would have wanted are off the board though now, because
to lose Collins and then Connor Williams too. Like, yeah, they need offensive line help too. Could we see a sneaky offensive lineman go here, or a surprise?
Which offensive tackles are next on the board? I kind of don't remember off the top of my head now that Penning's gone.
So you'd be looking at could we potentially see a Tyler Smith, or like maybe a Ray?
Oh, yeah, I think Tyler Smith. I think this would be a Tyler Smith spot for sure.
I feel like it's rich for Falele, but I feel like Tyler Smith was one of those guys who could sneak in the first round.
Yeah, I think Tyler Smith also, unlike Falele, it can definitely start from day one, and you would feel very comfortable about what he gives you. Doesn't give you like maybe the high upside of some of the other guys, but or at least some of the guys that are going in the first round. But I think that Tyler Smith would make a lot of sense.
And I feel like it's it's too rich for like a Dylan Parham or even Cole Strange, because again they need interior helps. But Tyler Smith would make sense, and that could be the surprise player to get into the first round. I know he had been pegged to be one of those guys that could sneak into the first round, but yeah, he would make sense for the Cowboys with the 24th selection. So going back to you, Alex, did we get any responses, or do we see kind of a trend of players who the fans think the Chargers might take in the third round, who they want?
Let me scroll back up to when we said that. I did get a Calvin Austin, Leo Chenal, or Calvin Austin. I really want Calvin Austin. So we have a lot of Calvin Austin fans in the chat.
Calvin Austin is one of my guys. But,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin would definitely be one of my guys. Like, he's kind of the like third round version of Sky Moore, just because I think Sky Moore's stock has gone up so much higher at this point. So I think if you can get Austin by that point in the third round, that'd be awesome. I still hold out hope for Bo Melton, and I want Bo Melton because he's my Rutgers guy. But I don't. It seems like the receivers are going really, really fast. So we'll see how that pace kind of continues. Got a Greg Dulcich mention. I don't know if they're going to go tight end in the third round. It might be a little bit rich, but I think they probably wait a little bit on that one. Because I kind of think they want a tight end who's like a Steven Anderson quasi replacement, like a maybe fullback tight end type deal. But yeah.
Yeah, and then just, I can't stop thinking about that interior defensive line, and just knowing that Tillery's on the final year of his contract.
Right.
And again, they really could address that position with their third round pick. And I know, like, if a Darian Mathis is still there in the third round, like, that would be pretty sweet to go or get someone like him. Again, just looking at the players that they met with, see Otito Bonilla, who I see more as like a round 4-5 guy, and then potentially like a Matthew Butler, Uruzuriki from Iowa State. I really like him too. So yeah, there's some interesting interior defensive linemen. I feel like that's a position they could address in round 3, just when looking at the depth of the interior defensive line. So
yeah, we got
looks like. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, who's up right? Oh, Dallas is still up.
Yeah, okay. It looks like their pick is in now. So
pick is in.
What were you?
I was gonna say we got a Matt Ariza in the chat for the third round. Don't
mean,
think that's gonna happen, but
Vince
you never
Lesko
know.
said something about Ariza.
They had a private workout with him, something like that. So I mean, that could be definitely a day 3 type of thing, like in general. But there was a report that a bunch of GMs actually like Jordan Stout better. And I know that's something Steven's been saying for a while in terms of the punters. I have not watched punter tape. I will not degrade myself that much, so I couldn't tell you. We got a Kobe Bryant mention.
Yes.
That would kind of be that would definitely be like
2
quarterback
corners that
target
come to
there.
mind that I would want, and based on connections too, Alontae Taylor, and I like Damari Mathis from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think Alontae Taylor would definitely be a great outside cornerback replacement. Like if you're looking to move on from Michael Davis next year, that strikes me as kind of the move.
Okay, so I was right. We went through the offensive line, and the Cowboys are taking Tyler Smith.
Yeah. There was a little bit of Tyler Smith buzz there before the draft, but definitely with how it played out, penning off the board.
To the first round, so
yeah. And that kind of makes sense. I think he was OT 5 or 6 on my board, so I mean, I like Tyler Smith a lot there.
A top 5 tackle, depending on how you put them in.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking here? The Collins replacement or what? I mean, that's
makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that would be their Collins replacement. Derek White says in the chat, O'Day. I don't know if O'Day tweeted anything. O'Day seems to think Filer's staying on guard based off of his tweet. I don't know if
O'Day said.
Check the Twitter machine and let's see what O'Day said.
So he said he started out the tweet by saying, "All love, happy for the young buck. He's a dog." So I mean, again, with the whole all love at the beginning of the tweet, I wonder if they don't plan on re-signing him. Like that's kind of like a farewell. All love could be one of those things. Like
could be.
So like maybe like a passive type tweet from O'Day right there, and maybe the team kind of doesn't plan on bringing him back. And Zion, what, right guard? Filer, left guard? Is this what the guy is that what he's kind of getting at here? And
that's kind of what it would sound like. It would sound like they're not re-signing Ibushi in that case.
Zion, in my opinion, he can play both guard spots. And again, at the Senior Bowl, he started for the first time playing some center as well. So I think he can play either guard spot and then in emergency situation fill in at center. But yeah, that's interesting from O'Day because it's just like the way that tweet kind of comes out. It's sort of passive in a sense, just all love, happy for the young buck, he's a dog. Like, right.
So then if you're kind of going from left tackle to right tackle, then it would be Slater, Filer, Lindsley, Johnson, Williamson. Oh, fuck. Oh, god damn it. Oh, Johnson.
Yeah.
I did it again.
Pipkins or
Pipkins or third round tackle if they want to go in that direction. Storm Norton.
Because I thought, I know he didn't test well, but he plays a lot quicker on the field. I like his tape. I thought Max Mitchell is gonna be a quality right tackle, and I know that Charlie likes him. I know that I don't know how Steven feels about him.
I think all three.
I think everyone does.
Yeah,
I was talking to Tyler about this too. Max Mitchell is one of those guys that when you watch this film, there isn't a lot of like red flags. I feel like he's just a clean player, not a lot of negatives. Yes, there's some things with his technique that he needs to clean up. I feel like his frame is maxed out for the most part, but like he has the ideal right tackle frame. And I mean, I think you can kind of put him in for in a position where he's competing for a starting job in year one. And I'd feel comfortable with him at right tackle. And especially like, yes, you might have two rookies with Zion Johnson and Max Mitchell, but I feel comfortable having those two out there. And then maybe even, I'm trying to think of just the different combinations, but I like Max Mitchell, and I think that he's going to be a quality player in the NFL, whoever drafts him. He just seems like, I think Duke mentioned it. He reminded him of Mitchell Schwartz, a guy that didn't test really well, but on the field plays a lot quicker in the run game. He's got that nastiness to him. He's good at the second level. Just with his first step off the ball, like just everything with his game looks really smooth. And that Texas tape was a lot of fun. That was the first tape that I watched of his, and everything just looked good. And I'm like, okay, this guy could be a quality player, and he just seems like one of those safe picks too. That if you take him in the third round, you're going to be looking at a potential starting tackle next level. So I don't know. I don't know again because they really may have Pipkins as penciled in as that starting right tackle, just given his final year, just how he played when he was on the field last year, and then his development with Duke. So.
Yeah, so Max Mitchell, me, Steven, and Tyler all liked him. I think it was just kind of a debate of whether he's like ready year one or not, because I think that was sort of it. But no, I think they could definitely take him in round 3. Yeah, I think that probably means Trey Pipkins right tackle now, unless they just wanted it like. This is kind of make or break for Pipkins at this point. So like I imagine they try to like let him compete for the job in camp, or they sign like I wouldn't be shocked if they signed like a Riley Rife or somebody like that who's like available. They pick him up and he's their right tackle.
I was a little surprised with them not addressing that position in free agency. Yes, there weren't a lot of top tier right tackles, but I feel like there were a lot better options than rolling out a Storm Norton and Trey Pipkins.
Oh yeah, I mean, and then there were values that were gotten for pretty good in free agency as well. Who's the tackle that Baltimore got again? I forget off the top of my head. They got him for like $5 million AV. Can't remember off the top of my head.
Let's see. Morgan Moses.
Yeah, Morgan Moses. Yeah, because we talked about him as like a guy that was probably going to get $8 to $10 million a year, and then he got $5 million. So I mean that was kind of one where I was
even
like,
a guy like Dennis Kelly. He went to
yeah.
Oh, he's still a free agent.
Yeah, Dennis Kelly. I would grab Dennis Kelly for sure. I mean that feels like perfect training camp competition. If Pipkins beats him out, or it doesn't work out, then Kelly has a starting job.
I know that he visited the Colts, so he took a visit, but obviously nothing came out of it as of now. But yeah, so I mean he's made his rounds, and I thought he did really well for the Packers last year. So, and I had him on top of my list of a guy that the Chargers could sign for cheap and then put him in at that right tackle spot. But what do we think? Put in the chat. What do we think the Chargers are going to do? Do we think they have Pipkins, or they think highly of Pipkins, and they're going to start him at right tackle? Do we think Filer's going to move over to right tackle, or do we think they're going to draft someone with their third or fourth round who they believe can fill in, compete for a starting job? So I'm curious to see what people's thoughts are on this right tackle spot.
Yeah, I think they draft a guy third or fourth round, and then you probably have like a Pipkins third, fourth round pick kind of guy, and then like Norton competition, and just see who comes out on top there. And if it's Pipkins initially, then Pipkins plays. If it's whoever you draft in third, fourth round, like a Max Mitchell, then he plays. I don't think Norton wins the competition between those three. But yeah, I think it is looking like Pipkins or late day 2, early day 3 pick now.
Oh shit! So the Ravens took Tyler Linderbaum, so they got their
okay. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's a good pickup for them on the offensive line at this point in the draft. Yeah, who are their like receivers now at this point? Now that they traded Hollywood Brown,
the Ravens depth chart at the receiver position. You're looking at Bateman, Duvernay, and
okay.
Roche.
Oh, that's not bad. I think Bateman, if he kind of develops into what he's supposed to be, he got hurt last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Duvernay a lot coming out, and then Proche is interesting too. I just feel like they kind of need that. I think they need a day 2 guy for sure coming up.
But before I go, what kind of responses do we get in the chat regarding that right tackle position?
We have a comment about Brennan Hymes. I think they pick someone and they make them, Pipkins, and Norton fight to the death.
See, I'd be fine with that competition. A Max Mitchell, Norton, Pipkins, I'd be
yeah,
fine with that.
I'd be okay with that too. Abraham Lucas or Darian Kennard in the third.
Abraham Lucas all day over Kennard. I was too high on Kennard, especially after seeing him at the Senior Bowl, where I thought he struggled a little bit. Oh, so the Jets are trading to 26. They're gonna have 3 first rounders. They have a chance to build off their good draft. Yeah, seeing Sauce and Garrett Wilson to the Jets, and they're having a heck of a draft. I'm curious to see what they do here.
Who are the Jets trading up with?
They traded up with the 26th pick. I just saw it. I gotta say though, this first round is okay. So yeah, with the Titans, and they get a third, and the Titans will get their second round pick. Oh wow! So now that I'm thinking of it, because again, this guy was pegged at 10. They could be getting Jermaine Johnson right here.
Yeah,
this could be their dream draft. Yeah,
if they get Jermaine Johnson, Sauce Gardner, and Garrett Wilson,
they're winners right there.
Yeah, can't call anyone else the winner of the draft at that point. If they get those 3.
But anyways, man. So yeah, I'm gonna hop off because we have a few picks left, but I've got to get some writing done for Chargers and draft wire. But
no, it's been great having you on, man.
Plan on doing it tomorrow.
Yep.
What time are we thinking? The draft starts at 4 Pacific Standard Time. I think 7 your time,
Pacific.
Right?
Yeah. We could probably get a crack in 4:30.
Round up for the first round. Talk about day 2.
Yeah.
And we can go and just kind of run through the draft and.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
I think we can do
that was a lot of fun. Again, Zion Johnson, not sexy, but
he's a Charger. Yeah. So I guess your final thoughts on Zion Johnson.
I loved it. Again, you got a plug and play guard. I feel like, with that play strength, just his anchor in pass pro, his ability in the run game too. Again, he has an overall really good skill set, durable too. I think he played 58 games, I believe he logged between Davidson and Boston College. So again, we don't know where they're going to be putting him, whether it's left guard or right guard, but for the sake of protecting Justin Herbert, I think you're set.
Yeah, and I think so as well. But thanks for hopping on, Gavino. All right. Seems like it is now just me. So if you guys want to fire off some any last second questions, we can get those going in the chat. Or, I'll just kind of wrap up my thoughts with the Zion Johnson pick here. We do have Zion Johnson as a Charger. I think that's awesome. He's going to either slot in at left guard, right guard, can play both spots. I think it's the no-brainer pick right there in terms of, debating between him and Penning. But yeah, I think this draft played out exactly kind of how the Chargers wanted. I know there was a lot of buzz at receiver, but maybe they were just trying to kind of get guys to go before them so then they could get one of, Zion or Penning and kind of bulk up the offensive line as well. This comes from Roy Francis. How would you feel about a trade up in the second? I think that's kind of off the table at this point, unless they're willing to trade next year's picks, which I don't think they are. If there's some value that they definitely can't pass up, and someone starts to really slide, then I think that becomes a debate. But I don't think that they end up trading up into the second. Jets go with Jermaine Johnson. So that isn't particularly surprising, but man, the Jets are making out like bandits here with Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and now Jermaine Johnson as well. Wrong Speedy. Does anyone trade up for a QB at the end of round 1? Do they need to trade up for a QB at this point? Like, who are you leaping? Because the Lions are no longer there. I'm just trying to look at who the next teams up are. We have Jacksonville, Green Bay, New England, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Minnesota. None of those teams obviously needing a quarterback. This could be like a Houston trade up spot in theory. Seattle, if Seattle wanted like a Malik Willis or Desmond Ridder, I could see them trading up to this point. I'm just looking at the teams that are like close to getting into the first round. Yeah. James C. is running back or wide receiver higher on the Chargers board? I would think wide receiver still. I think Telesco has kind of reserved running backs for day 3 or undrafted in like the kind of current era. Obviously drafted Melvin Gordon in the first back in the day, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they would take a running back at this point with the other needs on the team right now. Ooh. Looks like it's Jacksonville just traded out is what the comments are saying. I do not have Twitter or anything open, so I'm just following along on NFL Network like a plebeian a little bit here. This comes from DZ. The lack of QB kind of hurt us. Zion was a decent but not splash pick. I agree. I mean, I think Zion is better than decent. I think he is a great pick here in terms of the most pro-ready guard to play. But I think if you were hoping for like one of those tackles to fall, if you were hoping for one of those receivers to fall, then yeah, I think there not being one quarterback in the top 16 absolutely ended up hurting the Chargers. I think we did think like Pickett would go there yesterday. We thought at least maybe 2 of Pickett or Willis would go there yesterday, but it only ended up being none of them, and then Pickett going 20 to the Steelers. Let's see where we are now. Jacksonville is next up on the board. Not sure who they're going to trade up for at this point, but I guess they could kind of be looking for more weapons on offense. Not sure. The Chargers haven't really done much with the space they cleared for max restructure. What do you think they do with that money? I think they're all about depth at this point. I don't know if they're going to get like any starting level players, but that could be obviously gotten into like an Ibushi kind of contract. I mentioned Riley Rife a bunch on the show, but like just like a starting caliber right tackle at this point. It could be where that money is pooled into. Jorge Rodriguez, Zion is a great pick, but he doesn't get hyped because he's a guard. I mean, yeah, I think that's really the nature of the position and the fact that it's not necessarily as valuable as the other positions. But I think if you're just looking at the player Zion is and how he can help the Chargers immediately, that I think he's obviously worth the selection. And we've pretty much seen every year the best guard in most classes has gone really top 20. So I don't think Zion has really gone away from the norm at this point, or he didn't go significantly higher than people have thought. The pick is in for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's see what they do. Andrew Gordon, Green Bay can draft Malik next. Yeah, chaos theory. I think they could do it. It would be really funny. DZ says in the chat, the thing that I like about Zion is the versatility. Me too. I think the fact that you can kind of have him at right guard, left guard, or in theory center, that is kind of really the draw of him, the ability to potentially either when Corey is gone, eventually, you can put him at center if the team needs it at that time. you can also either put him at either of the guard spots, depending on the year and depending on your offensive line in general. I think that that's something to really love about Zion. Just, one of those, not just like a good guard prospect, but a good all-around prospect for those middle 3 spots. I haven't seen what the Jags pick is, so we'll find that out in just a second here. DZ, really surprised about Jermaine Johnson and Devin Lloyd falling in the draft. I'm not terribly surprised about Devin Lloyd just because of the value of linebacker being pretty hard to predict in these drafts. I definitely think Devin Lloyd still will go in the first round here, so that's not a huge difference from where he was kind of projected to go, like in that 15 to 20 range. Jermaine Johnson falling, though, I think is very surprising just because... yeah, I mean, there was a lot of potential top 10 buzz going around about him. So I think him falling this far and just being an edge in general falling this far and his skill set is pretty surprising. Still waiting on the Jags pick. Jorge Rodriguez, funeral potatoes. I think Steven will have funeral potatoes to celebrate the Zion Johnson pick. I'm sure he'll be very excited about that. And the Devin Lloyd pick. Potentially to the Jaguars here would make him buy a Jags jersey as well. James, was Quay Walker a reach at 22? That to me is the most confusing pick of the first round so far. I get why you would take a Quay Walker over Nakobe Dean. I don't get why you would take a Quay Walker over Devin Lloyd per se, just in terms of how ready they are to play right now. And just how I think they project into the NFL. I don't think Quay Walker is at nearly as complete of a player as Devin Lloyd is right now, but I kind of get why you would take him over to Nakobe Dean. So reach because you picked him over Devin Lloyd. So that I can't really get behind. All right, I think we are going to figure out what this Jags pick is, and then I will probably hop off. We'll kind of see what happens here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It does sound like they could be going for Devin Lloyd. Could we trade for Wyatt? So yeah, Devontae Wyatt is still on the board. I think that it's not possible at this point. I still think Devontae Wyatt is going to go way too high for the Chargers to trade up for him. But yeah, he is probably like on their board in terms of need. I just don't know what the off the field stuff, if he's like really available to them. And the pick is still in for the Jags, waiting for it on the TV screen over here. Herbicide 73, Chargers made the right choice with Zion. I, for the most part, completely agree. I don't think there's another player that I would have taken over Zion in that position. I don't think they expected the wide receivers to roll off the board the way they did. So for all intents and purposes, I think Zion is more or less the best player available and best guard available there as well, and best offensive line player for sure at that spot in the draft. The Jaguars do go with Devin Lloyd, like the chat was saying. So Steven is going to get a teal and black jersey near you sometime soon. So I know he's going to be excited for that. And yeah, with that, I think we will wrap day one of the stream. Thanks to everyone for coming out and supporting the stream. Really enjoyed having you here. Zion Johnson is a Charger. Very good day, I think, for everyone. And I will see you guys tomorrow on day two. Gavino and Kyle will be joining us. So see you guys next time.